Salvete omnes. Let's continue with the Aeneid, Book 2. Fit sonetus spumante salo, iam quarua tenebant, ardentes quae oculos suffecti sanguinet igni. Sibylla lambebant linguis vibrantibus ora. A sound is made from the foaming sea, and already they were holding the lands, and, having been suffused with respect to their burning eyes, or their eyes burning with blood and fire, they were licking their hissing mouths with vibrating tongues. This is more a description of the snakes that are coming for Laocoon. And I say snakes, but they're really more like giant sea serpents that are a little bit like dragons. They're just something made up and mythical and scary. So sound is made from the foaming sea. We have a clear ablative absolute here, spumante salo, and you also notice the spumante salo, the S sound. It's more hissing like snakes that Virgil's employing. And already they were holding the lands. The snakes have reached the land. And having been suffused with respect to their burning eyes. This phrase is a difficult one to translate clearly, and that's because this suffecti, when you look at it, it's a perfect passive participle, right? Because it comes from a normal verb, it does not come from a deponent. So it's having been suffused. But then how do you translate these to accusatives? That's where we run into some trouble. These have to become sort of like accusatives of respect when you translate it, because Virgil's using a sort of form that is taken from a Greek middle voice participle. You don't need to know all that, but just that's where this form comes from, and that's why suffecti has to take ablatives of respect, and that's why it's not a perfect active participle, it's a perfect passive participle. So having been suffused with respect to their burning eyes, or their eyes burning with blood and fire, these are two ablatives. They were licking their hissing mouths with vibrating tongues. This could also be an ablative absolute with their tongues vibrating, vibrantibus linguis. And I know there's some new vocabulary in here, like Sibylla probably, lambo, they were licking, and just that whole Greek middle voice thing. Spumante salo is something we've seen before. Fit, I want to point out, comes from fio,